in Spanish?
Sí, señor, gracias.
No, I'm just saying that I can't imagine. I saw this one clip it was a preview about this discernment phase of this reality show about nuns, and I thought about the fact that you had gone to this nun school,
Yeah.
a convent school,
Yeah.
and thinking,
What was it called? What was your school called?
Santa Teresa de Jesus.
Is that why you named me Teresa?
No.
Saint Teresa. I'm sorry.
Santa Teresa Saint.
Why did you name Bob, and Tom, and Terry?
Because I like the names.
Thomas.
And they will name Cushion because some cousin of his or somebody named Cushion in the family at the Winslows.
Very
Winslows are the
Christian.
middle
I was
name.
Margaret after.
You were named after
Obviously,
Granny.
But why Teresa? Why Robert? Why Thomas?
Because I like the names. Frank and I just pick a name.
So I'm Margaret Teresa, but why did you call me Terry?
Oh, Terry, I don't know, because of that singer I think your father loves so much, Teresa Brewer. And wasn't she called Terry? I don't know.
There you go. Did you ever know that?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad?
So I have
Otherwise, we could call you
another
Margaret.
Cuban question.
Dad also liked Terry and the Pirates.
Christine,
Well,
what's
he
your question?
likes very much Teresa Brewer, the singer, your father. So they name you after your grandmother and Teresa Brewer, sure. Teresa, in back of my mind, I liked it too because of my school I went to, Santa Teresa de Jesus, Saint Teresa of Jesus. And we had to pray morning, 2 or 3 times in the morning, noon, 2 or 3 times in the afternoon, 2 or 3 times in the evening. Then go to bed.
Sounds like being a Muslim.
Yeah, they get up and go
Call
to
for
the
prayer.
God chapel in the school and go to the little mass every morning and then go to the...
Do you ever feel now that you should be praying all those times? Like, I'm just trying to think of that, like, that thing instilled in you so much.
They going to church?
Just that you have to pray
Praying
3
several
times
times a day.
in the morning and 5 times at night.
Yeah.
You know.
Before breakfast, after breakfast, before lunch, after lunch, before class, after
Well,
class,
was the
before...
praying to who?
Huh?
Praying to who? Obviously they're...
The Catholic, we pray to Jesus and Mary,
Yeah. I think
Everybody.
that's what Terry's getting at.
But I'm saying, do you still feel that innate, like, is it
No.
like muscle memory, like?
No, as soon as I get out of there, I try to forget about it as much as possible.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough.
So I have
Because
another
they were
question.
not nice about it.
No, that's fine. I was just like
They weren't
wondering.
No. I just said, oh.
Well.
So when I got here to Budoxbury, I was a Catholic.
Mhm.
And then, so I came to this family that only had 1 child. So I was a Catholic, he was a Baptist, his mother was a Unitarian, and his father was an Episcopalian. So I said, okay, so maybe I don't want to be a Catholic.
Picture.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be a Catholic. I'm just going to become one of these religions, the other 3. So I picked the one that was closest to the Catholicism, the evangelist,
Episcopal.
the Episcopal, yeah.
Except all of you guys were congregational. So I don't
Well, we got baptized at the Congregational Church later on. At least I did. I think you did too.
The 3
Yeah, then
of
we
us,
started going to the
Sunday school, one
congregational.
church. We were
but
baptized.
the
And
3 of us
and
were
confirmed in another
baptized
church.
together at the
congregational.
the Congregational
Congregation.
Church because Charlie Rogerson went there. And he convinced you guys to have the 3 of us baptized.
Well, no, we wanted to baptize you.
Except
We
he's
didn't have to talk about
Episcopalian,
it.
so-
No, he went to the Congregational Church at the time and convinced.
No,
you
he
guys-
didn't convince us. That's just a story of Charlie.
No, that was because Dad told me that. Because when I actually asked Charlie about that, he absolutely denied it. But
Yeah.
Dad told me that.
I don't remember that part that anybody talked to me. I
But I
know that I
remember
was brought up, you had to be baptized, so we baptized you,
I remember the 3 of us being baptized at Congregational Church in
Yes,
Westbury.
yeah.
And
Yes.
I was like 8 or 7, which means.
I was 18.
Yeah, so you would have been 18, 11, and. No, 18, 15,
18?
and I was 18,
No, they were
16.
If he was
13.
18, 16,
No, they
I
were
was 5
like
years
10
younger
and
than
8
him.
or something. I mean, they were young. No, they were like, nobody was in 10,
I have
10,
I have
8,
my
and 6 or
baptism
something.
papers when I was 18.
When you were baptized? I don't think so.
1860 and I was 11. I was going to say I was 11 or 12.
And
he's
I thought
5
you were
and
much
7
younger.
years older than me.
No, you were younger than that.
Duke it out.
Wait, Christy
Yeah,
has
I
a
wanna hear
question.
Christine's
Yeah,
version.
I mean, if you're done with the religion, I think.
We are
I
never
don't want to
done with
interfere.
The baptism thing.
So what I wanted to know is, because you grew up in such a rural place in Cuba, I was wondering is that as a little girl, if you rode horses, if you swam.
Yeah, we have horses
ran
to
around
ride,
and
we
did
have
fun
bicycle, we have bicycle to ride around.
A lot of baseball.
A bicycle, we
Yeah.
play a lot of baseball with my brother.
Yeah.
You know, and
So
when I
did you
was
have a
like 10, I was
sense?
sent away to school to the nuns.
So yeah, so you didn't get a chance to really kind of spend time
No,
in the
but
nature.
summer
nature
times I
and
did,
mountains.
and we used to go to the watering hole kind of thing. It was
Yeah.
actually it was a water supply. The upper part was the water supply of the
Was
town,
it a waterfall or something, or was
and
it?
then it was like a little fall, and then in the bottom, that part we swam.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you say, we used to go to the watering hole. And it really was like the water supply and a hole that we could swim in. And I'm thinking the watering hole, you know, like the milepost where we'd all go to drink, or the windhurst where we'd all go to drink.
But it was a big place. I mean, it was
The
part of
little
the.
No, I'm just thinking the word watering hole
Ah,
as
yeah,
a
but no,
cultural
it's-
thing. I think
It was a
it's
big
so
river.
cool.
It was
was
part
an
of the
Irish
river.
thing.
It went out to the river, you know.
It's so cool.
It went down to the river. It was part of the river, really.
That's so cool.
So we were all swimming and jumping from the top down to the bottom, you know.
And the Pingrees had I think I heard it was the largest cattle ranch in Cuba, but it was
Yeah.
also a sugar mill plantation, or a sugar plantation as well.
Yes,
And that's where your father,
worked at it, yeah.
and he was the foreman of the
He was an
chief
engineer,
engineer
the sugar part.
of the sugar.
And then my brothers, when they came to work, they went to work at the ranch.
Right. Ugo's book is great in describing a lot
Yeah, he
of the
described
stories.
the ranch.
Yeah, right.
I love his stories about having to keep the different papers in the different pockets
That was funny.
and trying to remember.
Which one to give to the guys from the government, which one to give to the Castro people. That took a lot of,
Yeah.
you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like one of those spy movies that you see,
You
you know.
pull the wrong papers out and you
Yeah.
literally will die.
You're dead. Because there were guys hanging, people hanging in the trees in those days. You look around and people were hanging in the trees.
Were you
know?
still
Yeah.
in Cuba
Tell-
for
tell
that,
that
or
Monica
were you
story.
here then?
No.
Tell that Monica story where Raul, like Ugo, they came and knocked on your parents' door and they're like, "We want to."
Yeah, well, that wasn't Monica. That was Vilma Spin. That was Vilma. It was a girl that used to come to Ermita to play with us. I mean, her father was the manager, the big manager of the Bacardi rum plant in Santiago de Cuba, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Ermita. And
For you youngins, that's Bacardi.
Bacardi rum started there, you know. So the head of the Bacardi rum company, his daughter came to Ermita to play, and we were playing and spent summers together playing, you know, with all the guys, all the kids there, and one of his friends, and you know. So we used to, when they came, it was her and her brother, Ivan. And then we used to play and go climbing the hills. We used to bring picnics and go up on the little hill that was out behind Ermita. And we had, you know, so we were very good friends with Vilma, spending summers with her. And then a few years later, we grew up and you know, older. And then I got married, and I was in Cambridge because Frank was going to MIT. We had an apartment there, and came to Duxbury weekends.
Yeah.
And so somebody told me that Vilma Spin was there taking a course in MIT. So we got hold of her, and she came over to have dinner with us over there at this apartment that we had. And we just talked about, you know, the old days and everything. Nothing, you know, nothing politically, nothing. We never mentioned Castro or anything like that, even though Castro was kind of fighting already in the mountains. So we never talked politics, so just about the old days. So then she said goodbye, 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 and she went back to MIT, finished her course, and a month later she left and went back to Cuba and went to the mountains to join the Castro group. And I was like, build myself there. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And after a while, she married Raul Castro.
Really? Wow.
Who roams the
But,
country
but
now?
keep going with the whole story about Ugo. And
Oh yeah. So then they still fighting every little town. You know, try to win little towns by little towns. They used to go in there and try to get the army barracks and get hold of that. You know, the army barracks. So they finally had arrived in Ermita. And Ugo was there in the house with my sisters and my mother, father, and so they were staying. They used to cover this house because Vilma remember, and Vilma was in the group already. They remember that she used to go in this house and everything. So they used to go there. So they went there, and then Vilma said she'd like to see Ugo. So with Ugo there, so. All these guys from the mountains, you know, they have been there for months and they smell like goats, you know, horrible. And all of them, and they came over and they were around the house, taking care of the house of Castro's, you know, the Raul and everything. And then they made like a line of these guys all the way to my house. And so then one of them came over and knocked in my house, my mother's house, my family's house. And it was like about midnight. And my mother opened the door and they said, we want to see Hugo Mojica. So my mother's heart stopped, you know. They thought he was going to be shot.
Oh my gosh, as a mother, could you imagine?
Yeah.
With this couple of guys with the bar, you know,
And
this
sending
thing
your
here.
son, okay,
The
off you
ammunition.
go.
And here's this guy with a thing over here full of bullets, with a machine gun or whatever they had, you know.
It makes me like want to pass out, nauseous, sick.
And they came
You
into
wanna
the
see
door. We
Christian
want to see
sport.
Hugo Mojica. So Hugo come out. Okay, we had to go. You have to come with us. So they go down around the corner to the house and back. And when I got there, Vilma come out. Hugo, come over. And they go. Hugo hug him. Hugo, because they were good friends since they were little, you know. Hugo, I want you to meet my friend. You know, I want you to be somebody here. So meanwhile. Raul was in the other room planning attacking Guantanamo the next day with all the guys.
so Bay of Pigs, they were.
No, this
No,
Not yet.
One
It's
time.
like
No, that was a
15
lot,
years
lot later.
before then. It's-
That was a lot
Bay of Pigs
earlier.
was when Fidel was
Before.
in power.
It's
So he
taking
said, okay,
over
we're gonna
Batista.
Get Guantanamo, you know, and get into the
It makes me
army
sick to
barracks and
think
the
someone
police,
comes to
you
my
know.
door,
Right.
asking for you.
So then she said, okay, I want you to come here to the other room. I want you to be my friend. And they opened the door and there was Raul with two guys in the map, you know. And she said, oh, Raul, I want you to be my good friend Hugo. And he said, oh, I heard a lot about you. I'm so glad to meet you. I heard a lot about you. And Hugo said, I heard a lot about you too.
And that's the truth.
And
Yeah.
that is the
Christian, have you read Ugo's book?
You haven't?
We have it at the
That's a
house.
great book.
You give it to me?
It
So-
describes
Yeah.
that whole
Oh,
story.
it is
Yeah.
like that
Grandmother's
too?
telling.
Yeah, that's
It's really
right. So,
pretty cool.
but imagine how scared my mother was and my
Yeah.
sisters.
Oh my gosh,
everybody,
it
yeah.
makes me want to pass
No.
out.
Yeah.
I
thinking
think
about
it, I think it's got the whole settings of a movie.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I
Yeah.
think it'd be a cool movie.
I think it would be a good great movie. That's what I
I
thought.
really think it would be like
Yeah.
a kid
Get your
growing up
son on it.
in that whole thing.
Yeah.
We need to give
Yeah,
Jason.
But you know,
Scott.
he wrote the book so much like 50 years later. If it was right then, maybe a little closer to the
Yeah,
No,
but
you
still,
know
that
what?
history is there.
He wrote that book, and his writing skill is more of like a high school level.
Vernacular.
But
Yeah.
the story, it's like reading a
Yeah,
high
it's
school
really rich.
journal. It's,
Mm.
you know, his writing
Firsthand.
ability.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, the story is riveting.
Yeah.
It really is.
He has
It
a
would
bunch of
make a
good
great- I
stories
think
in
it would
there.
make a
Oh
great
my
movie.
gosh.
You know, that
Yeah.
scene about going
You
to
know
the
that
house
old
to
movie
meet
Stand By Me?
Fidel, you know,
It has
Raul, I
that,
mean.
that feeling to it.
Yeah.
Have you read Ugo's book?
Mm? So
I
that's
can't
about it.
believe, I'm so sorry I haven't given that to you yet.
It's really worth reading, I have
You
to
should read
admit.
it, it's
Yeah.
amazing, you know.
Yeah.
Next book.
And
on my
apply
list.
it to your
And
otherwise
that-
screenplay.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Have sell
Let's
that
do it.
screenplay.
And that's my life. That's my